Normally we see Richmond, like it seems like it's always the theme of their season. They get off to a slow start. They always get questioned, oh, are they over? And then they pick things up about halfway through and then just go on to tear the rest of the season and then win the premiership. This might be the game where, here's when they turn it on. I am curious to see what they're able to do next round once we get into our tipping later in the show. Then also what they're going to be able to do once Dusty eventually makes his return to the lineup. If we'll see the same kind of Richmond team, but enhanced, or if they might return to earlier form that we saw at the beginning of the season. But my question is about the Western Bulldogs, and it seemed like I asked the question when GWS had a very competitive game with them last round. They might have shown some holes in the game for the Doggies. Does this game spell disaster for the Bulldogs? Have they been found out?
I don't know if it spells disaster, but it definitely showed there is some frailty in the back. And I had said it earlier. I said if there is a weak point in this Western Bulldogs team, it is in their back line. Their
Yes.
back line doesn't have that marquee shutdown one-on-one defender. Now, when you play Rewalt and Lynch, it's hard because if you take one away, the other might have a field day.
Mm-hmm.
And Caleb Daniels, as great of a player as he is, he gets tons of disposals. Is a great guy. Is a great player for him. He's one of the shortest guys in the league. He's not going to be able to take somebody one on one and take them out of the play.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a Doggies team a Western Bulldogs team that, to be completely honest with you, I think it'll all just kind of depend on matchups, because if you get a team that can press them and take away their handballing game, which is what they love to do through the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
They're a run and gun team with a ton of handballs. If you can cut that off and bomb it in and have forwards that can mark like the West Coast Eagles, like Richmond, like potentially Sydney if they get Logan McDonald and Lance Franklin,
Mm-hmm.
and Tax Walker potentially with Adelaide. If you get that big forward that can find holes, you're going to expose this Western Bulldogs team. And I think that's what Richmond kind of did. I'm not hitting the Western Bulldogs. They're a fraud. They're a
No
fake.
alarm
They're not
yet.
going to. No. There's still so much talent. And again,
Yeah.
also English was not in the game, and he tends to sometimes sit back and
Mm-hmm.
intercept mark around the halfback line, which they didn't have. So Toby Nankervis for Richmond had a field day in this game. So I think there's enough things that weren't there for the Western Bulldogs that I think I'm not going to sit here and say this is the typification of this team. No, there's still a ton of footy to go, but
Yeah.
this was more of Richmond showing that patterns have evolved. I saw this statistic and I wanted to throw this out there. In their four flags in the 4 years that they've gotten to the flag, um, 5 wins, 4 wins, 4 wins, 4 wins after round 7.
Mm.
And what did they have going into round 7? 4 wins.
So, aside supporting up, if you're a Tigers fan, just like, oh, I swear, Donnie, like, I love the Giants. I'm never going to stop being a supporter of them. But why couldn't I have picked the Tigers? Damn it.
That's a bandwagon jumper. It's a
Uh,
bandwagon jump team,
well, maybe
and
that's a
like
good thing then.
and,
I was real close to picking for going with Geelong though for about a
and
week.
not a bad one for history. I think for Richmond, it's kind of like being in the NFL there for the longest time
Being
when
a
Brady was
Patriots
in his
fan.
peak
Oh
powers
my
and becoming a
gosh.
Patriots fan. It's like you respect that you like greatness, but it's like it's a little easy. It's
Yeah.
a tiny bit easy.
See,